Good morning. I hope you're all well. Today is day 13 of me and my system being ganja free. It's day 13. And I realized the other day that, so this Saturday is my 38th birthday. And I realized that this year was going to be 20 years of me smoking ganja. Um, I started smoking, I think at age 18, where I actually really smoked. But consciously smoking ganja almost all the time was when I was 19. And at 19, that's when I started my chefing career and I was a trainee. So if you know anything about chefs or even salespeople, because I later on I got into sales, is they are users. So a lot of chefs are either alcoholics or drug addicts, or addicted to something. So same applies to salespeople, um, because I guess they're stressful jobs. But hey, so anyways, I met a lot of weed smokers there in my time, um, as a trainee at that age. But it was all happy days and all of that. So it was going to be 20 years this year, and I'm on day 13. On Monday, was it Monday? Monday or Tuesday, I got into a disagreement with my son. He did something very disrespectful, um, and we've been getting into a lot of talks with him and punishments and things. I mean, he's 14. I guess people call it a phase or whatever, but he's actually done things to show his disrespect, especially towards me. So, anyways, I got into it with him, and but yeah, nothing that we can't fix right now. It's just a matter of us bolting down on discipline and being strict. And we've decided to kick it old school, like deal with him how our parents dealt with us, because we make that mistake as parents of wanting to be completely different to how our parents raised us. Whereas if we look at ourselves and what we've accomplished and the people we've become, it's mostly because of how our parents raised us, right? Despite their own faults and their own traumas and stuff. But as we grow older, we have to recognize where our parents' traumas are coming from, in learning their background, and then you would have a bit more compassion and understanding. And life is nothing without forgiveness. So, I mean, adulting comes with forgiving. So, anyways, later that day, after having almost a week of not having the gastro anymore because it's a side effect of ganja withdrawals, or it's a withdrawal symptom. I got gastro again. I spent most of that day on the couch. Mind you, I'm having to complete an assessment test for myself while I'm in that phase, and I'm angry and I'm annoyed and all of that. And I'm just realizing how annoyed I am throughout. But anyways, I passed the test. Um, but the whole day I was just on the couch and laying there because the gastro gets so bad that you get the back pains. It feels like back pains. I was just in the pits, and then it was diarrhea, and then it was diarrhea. So it was a tough day. But then later on, because I kept asking myself, but then why am I getting these now? I thought this was gone. I realized the reason why I'm getting the gastro is because if it was any other day, uh, the normal day or the usual day where I had ganja, after arguing with this kid, or even before arguing with my son, I would have already had like a few puffs of ganja in the morning. So as things were happening or are happening, I'd be a bit more zoned out from the reality of what I'm dealing with. And I've been tuned out of the reality of what I've been dealing with in my parenting style as well, right? I've been tuned out. I'm not going to lie about that. I've been tuned out. So in my out tuning, I wouldn't really deal with the emotion or the stress of what I'm dealing with. It would just be me, be irritated. A few puffs take the emotional side of things, and I am not doing the work of working through my emotions where I'm doing the breath work. I'm recognizing what it is that's making me annoyed, what it is that I'm really dealing with, and how I need to deal with it. So the weed would just suppress all of that. It's all suppressed, and then we just carry on. 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 And yes, in me also just starting my journey of doing self work and self healing and all of that over the years, even before being certified as a spiritual life coach or even as a doula, because all these things came with me doing my own spiritual work and also my initiation as a healer or a prophet. um, my unique initiations, all these things and tools of me practicing my work came after. But even in all of that, there was a bit of suppression too, but it forced me to then um, do self work. So, in my doing my self work, yes, I was doing it. Um, and I made a lot of breakthroughs. And because of that work that I've been doing, that's why I was able to recognize that I think I'm tired of being high all the time. I want to feel sober again. I want to feel myself again. Um, I don't know where it came from, but it was just a aha moment where I was like, no, I need to do this. And as I raised it with my partner, my husband, he also said, nah, he also wants to do the same thing because he's been smoking um, for a while too. I think it's 22 years with him. And he also he's never taken a break. Only a few times where he's had days where he's not smoking, but he smoked every day. And for me, the past couple of years, I've been smoking a whole lot more. A few years ago, there was a time where I was living alone, and that whole year, I couldn't have people over because I was doing my spiritual work. So I was either at work, or if I'm not at work, I'd be at my parents' house, or I'd be at a friend's place where we would meet every once in a while. And she was going through her own shit, I was going through my own shit too. But we're kind of um, helping each other through, and there'd be some things that we don't discuss in that. But I remember how much I smoked then. I smoked so much. I was smoking a lot. With the breakthroughs I was making and the turmoil that I was dealing with. And recently I'm realizing, and I've had the conversation with her, that was a dark time. It was a really dark time because I was really having to deal with myself. So now fast forward, in November last year, we had a passing in the family. I lost a cousin. Um, I lost a cousin. Um, and on my mom's side of the family, I am the only girl. So I took on that responsibility of having to be there and do this and do that and having and do this. And as soon as you walk in, you have to now look after someone else. And I was the designated person because my cousin's wife, she had suffered a lot of anxiety and panic attacks. So with me doing the work that I do, I knew how to get her out of it. You know, birth work is something amazing. It's a life. It's a life tool. So, anyways, I was able to always just. There'd be days where she's having a panic attack and she's breaking down, and as I'm tearing up and tearing down, I'm telling her, breathe, breathe, do like, yeah. I was telling her to breathe, and I'm telling myself to breathe. I'm on some through the nose, out the mouth, through the nose, out the mouth. And she's wailing, and I'm like, through the nose, but I have to forget my tears, forget my tears, forget my tears. And it's been a very rough loss for me. It's been a difficult loss because I feel my cousin also gave up on life at some point. But anyways, I hadn't cried. And last week, Saturday, I think, his wife posted a video of them on WhatsApp, and I saw that, and I broke down. Like, for the first time, I cried. I broke down. I broke down. I let it out. So since November, what's been happening with me, and in funerals you deal with a lot of family that you haven't seen in a while, so I got a real insight into my family and some of the toxic things that have been happening, some of the toxic things that even I have accepted upon myself. And I was, since we're talking birth work, I was inducing too, and I was promoting myself and upon myself and to my detriment. And so since then, the most of December, I was just doing a lot of introspection on myself and my role in my family and how I needed to serve me in return. Because clearly it hasn't been serving me. I mean, if you can't make the room to just also break down because of a loss, because there's this to do and this to do and this to do and this to do and that and that and that. After that, because it was 2 weeks, uh, a week and a half before the burial. So us black people, our funerals, every day people are coming in and out to be fed. It was a lot. So, anyways, now in my sober state, I broke down. Finally, I let it out. I let it out. I let it out. I let it all out. Like all of it. Everything that I've been carrying for years, I let it out. My husband was out, but he wasn't far from the house. And I texted him. I called him. And I was crying. And then he came, and all he could do was just hold me and let me cry. Because we had been talking about how I haven't been myself. He just said it one day, and he said, since the funeral, you haven't been yourself. Even you haven't been yourself. You're forgetting things more. I catch you drifting off far. And I was like, you're right. After some time, and then I felt it that no, man, I haven't been myself. I haven't been okay. Um, So when that time came and I was breaking down, he understood what was going on. And I had recognized that I had neglected myself all these years for so long, having to be there for other people. And also, even in my work as a healer, I also had to make the room to decide the type of person that I want to be, the type of healer that I am willing to be, and building those boundaries. And funny enough, since the beginning of the year, I've had a few people testing that and wanting to take advantage of my willingness to assist and to help, and I've just been saying no. So going back to my feeling the withdrawals the other day, I realized that in my adult life, because we can say adulting starts in our 20s, I haven't really dealt with my adulting. And then from 30, from 29 upwards, that's where you're really dealing with adulting. So since my Saturn return and the changes I've been doing and all of that, I haven't been recognizing my true emotions. Yes, you can recognize the anger, the what. And it came with a lot of blaming others at some point, and then accountability started happening. That's why I now reached the phase of saying, I want to be sober now. Hey guys, the things we take just to numb how we really feel about situations is us not fixing anything. It's just another way of running away from dealing with true issues that affect us, and affect the people around us and how we deal with them, i.e., our children, i.e., our family, i.e., ourselves. So, also, in now sitting and rethinking my journey in weed smoking and the lies we've been telling ourselves, oh, it's not a gateway drug. This shit is really a gateway drug. In me feeling how it feels, just choosing to not smoke it and be without it. I can feel how painful it is. I can feel what I've been doing to my body as it's coming out, as it's detoxing. I'm gaining complexion. My complexion is coming back. So, my blood, my body has been intoxicated for almost 20 years. And it's fighting it out. And it's as if the weed is looking at me and saying, what are you doing? You're betraying me. And I have to feel the pain of it like leaving my system. However it decides to leave it. I can be in the slight headaches and the watts that I'm now feeling. We lie to ourselves and all these things, and also realizing the people that I've accommodated in my bad habit, the people that I've hung around with smoking weed, which over time I stopped smoking in groups and I just started smoking on my own. Even that is dangerous, right? It's like someone who drinks alone. A lot of these people are not just smoking weed anymore. It's not just weed that they're taking other things. I've been around people taking other drugs and I just smoke the weed with them because drug users smoke everything, right? I'd be around drug users. I've been around a lot of drug users. I have relatives, cousins who are drug users, and I want nothing to do with them right now. Even them, I tried to be a guardian angel in helping them in their drug use and through their issues. And now I've reached a point I don't have the time for them anymore because it's like, what the fuck? But myself too, like, what the fuck, mamu? Like, what's this weed smoking? What for? And I haven't dealt with myself, guys. I haven't dealt with my true feelings and how I feel about things, mostly things that I am not okay with. And it's been delusional. My methods have been delusional. My affiliations with people have been delusional over time. That's another thing that's hitting me, that, oh shit, some of these spaces that I've been, oh fuck, it's been delusion. I didn't belong there. They were not for me. I was not for them. It was not healthy. It was not breeding growth. And it's the same people that right now, even in my soberness, I don't want. These are people where you feel kind of somehow about it, and then you'd be like, nah, maybe I'm just overthinking it. The vibe is not healthy. But now in my soberness, I want nothing to do with a lot of these people anymore. I'm okay. I don't want to be around them. So nothing changes if we don't really recognize it in a sober state. Nothing changes if my emotion is not clean. If my emotion is not clean, then my resolution or solution or healing method will not be clean either. It's like trying to have surgery and using tools that are not sterilized. unsterilized surgery, spiritual surgery. It wasn't sterile, it wasn't clean. Nothing that I was using was sterile if I was still taking the weed in my doing my self work. So, guys, it's been a big aha moment, and I'm still going strong. I'm still going strong. Um, it's painful, and it's making me realize the pain that I've been numbing all these years, and I'm getting better. I want to see myself on the other side. And the story or the testimony that I will be sharing on the other side. But nothing gets done if you don't really feel it. To recognize it is to actually reform it. That's it.